Very good day to you all, and a very warm welcome to pre-webinar on construction productivity in Lean Perspectives, a collaborative effort between Structural Design Institute, more commonly known as SDI, and our esteemed partner, Civil and Structural Engineering Consortium Private Limited. This is your first time with us. SDI is an educational institution that has a lot in store for you. We specialize in engineering, covering areas such as design, construction, and software training. What sets us apart is our close affiliation with civil and structural engineering consultants, a name synonymous with excellence in the field, having worked on several iconic projects in Sri Lanka. At SDI, we are committed to the continuous professional development of engineers. So we offer CPD courses and events, those who pursuing chartership or looking to enhance their skills. You can see few of our upcoming and ongoing courses here. We are focused on structural analysis and design, architectural modeling, and some courses focused on specialist topics. What sets us apart from other civil organizations is our exceptional faculty, as our educators are all practicing engineers with extensive real-world experience, some of whom are even renowned in academia. We also offer a set of publications, including tall building guidelines for Sri Lanka and construction specifications for tall buildings in Sri Lanka, as shown on the screen, with more to come. These books encapsulate our team's wealth of experience, diving deep into design and construction specifics. Today's webinar, the first for the series, and construction productivity in Lean Perspectives, focuses how Lean principles can be applied to improve productivity and efficiency in construction projects. This webinar will delve into key aspects such as waste reduction, process optimization, workflow improvement, value stream mapping, and continuous improvement strategies within construction operations. The session will highlight how Lean thinking and productivity-focused management approaches can enhance project performance, reduce costs, minimize delay, and improve overall construction efficiency while delivering greater values to clients and stakeholders. So before we officially begin, let me quickly run through a few housekeeping points to make sure today's session goes smoothly. First, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the YouTube live chat. We'll be monitoring the chat and directing your questions to the resource persons. And all questions submitted in the live chat will be addressed during the Q&A session at the end. Secondly, a certificate of participation will be awarded to all attendees who complete the attendance form. And the link to the form is available in the description of the YouTube live video. And we also share it again in the live chat. Now, the attendance form is not open yet. I repeat, the form is not open yet, and it will only become accessible once we announce it during the webinar in the live chat. So when the form is open, we will clearly notify you in the live chat. So please keep an eye on the live chat for that announcement. Once the form is open, it will remain available for only 20 minutes. So please make sure to fill it out within that time if you wish to receive your certificate. If you experience any issues while trying to submit the form, kindly take a screenshot of the problem and send it to us via email or WhatsApp. And please note that we will not be able to answer phone calls during the session. With that, let's begin today's webinar. And it is with great pleasure that I introduce our distinguished speaker for today's webinar, Dr. Engineer Kotla Arandara. Dr. Arandara is a certified Lean and Green practitioner with over 18 years of experience in manufacturing, construction, sustainability, and consulting. He currently serves independent consultations on lean transformation initiatives, environmental sustainability programs, and professional training. He holds a PhD in civil engineering from the Open University of Sri Lanka and has published multiple peer-reviewed studies. His expertise includes lean-based building and layout designing, construction project management, process optimization, quality assurance, environmental compliance, energy and material management, TPM systems, and KPI-driven operational excellence. With prior leadership experience at MAS Holdings and involvement in national and international consultancy projects, he's an active member of professional bodies including ISL and the CPM Sri Lanka. So we are honored to have him with us, and we look forward to an insightful discussion powered by his experience in engineering and construction management. So with that, I would now like to hand over the controls to Engineer Dr. Kotla Randara to conduct the session.
Okay, good evening to all of you. So thank you very much for inviting me for this delivery. The topic that appeared here, the construction productivity in lean perspectives. So nowadays, as a country, we are trying to get some construction and with the economy with the right direction, even with several disturbances, but still we as a community, construction community and engineering community, we want to have things in a way productive manner. So in that context, this topic will be very important, and through that SDI has decided and invited me to deliver today's presentation, construction productivity in lean perspectives. So if we consider today's flow, this will be for your understanding this chapter. We will understand basically what is lean. The word lean is quite new. It is coming to engineering sector, for the construction sector. But with that, now we can have several understanding with several new ideas. And I will explain what is it and how it relates with the construction sector, and what are the basics, rules, principles, and how we can use several tools, and what kind of way forward that can be as an individual or as a community, as an organization. So before go to that, I would like to take you to interact with me and with the session. So I would like if you are able, by having your phone, you can scan this particular Mentimeter session here. So I'm going to open the presentation, that one. So if you are able, you can just connect with that. So this QR code will support you to connect. So connected, then have first question that I want to understand why you and something like that, and which segment of the construction industry you belong. Okay, good. We can understand that typical structural design construction that will be there. We would like to have it from the client end also itself, but available audience is good. So if you go to the next another question, so how would you rate productivity in your current projects? Maybe qualitative man, you may tell very high or high, moderate. That's good. The answers will be depending basically person in touch, and we cannot say correct one right there, but moderate answer is the moderate answer. That's correct. Okay. That means we have a certain area, certain room for this. That's another way I can see. In that context, with the big also again will be covered. On the other hand, what is the biggest factor that you think affecting productivity in projects? So we can type something. Yes. Resource allocation, time. Good. So let's have appeared here, which I am going to touch also. So resource management, planning. So those are the factors that you are expecting to address. Those are affecting productivity. Yes. So we can move to the slide now. Now we are in one page. Now we can discuss. Now we can have our topic taken. So thank you for responding and keep that connectivity still throughout the session. Now I will take the word and the topic which is more important, productivity. We all know that is a equation with input output ratio. But if you are talking about construction productivity, it is mainly depending on the resources that we are talking about. We take an example, we take a work, any kind of work, let's say making a wall. So that particular amount of square meter wall can be completed by using some man. So man hours is the resource, but other resources are available. We consider resource by resource, so we can have the productivity in terms of numbers. So productivity is affected by definitely work methods and site conditions, management practices. So more importantly, productivity is not just a speed; it is efficiency of resource use. Basically, effectiveness and efficiency is a combination that we can have the result. So in the current arena, current context, current construction project frequently experience delays. So you notice that your answers also connected with cost overruns and inefficiencies because of the despite high effort levels. So globally, productivity levels that is considered in the 1995 baseline. So we can see that manufacturing and other sectors having a higher rate of growth. With the total economy, again it is higher than the construction. So what I want to emphasize that construction productivity across the world, even in Sri Lanka, the growth rate is very low. So we want to address this one. Global construction productivity growth remain around 1% annually, significantly lower than manufacturing. So these are validated with the literature that I have mentioned, and further you can have more understanding by having certain readings with your leisure time. So big room is there to improve. So construction site, that time, if we consider time, only that productive time is very less. The higher part, 57%, is representing waste flow that is unproductive. So when we measure our projects, we can have further accurate numbers. But the problem is the numbers are not much available in the current. So my suggestion, my request, so we together we want to have some numbers in terms of productivity. So we want to think about that. So when you come with the global construction productivity context, it is 1%. In Sri Lanka, definitely it should be not that. Then you have to understand where we are. Improvement potential, 60% through better practices, as in the literature. The global context, the Sri Lankan context is still 10% can be there. It's estimated value based on the McKinsey company reports. So as I mentioned that productivity is a kind of game with effectiveness and efficiency. We know that effectiveness is the thing or right things. If we are selecting something that right things, when we are doing right thing, that is effective. Something selected, if we can do it in right manner, that is efficiency. We have selected today, that is the right thing, and we can do it in efficient way or inefficient. Both sides are. So when we are doing right thing at efficient level, that is better. So we want to address and keep in mind that when we go forward, and management philosophy, lean management philosophy is coming to play with that idea, effectiveness and efficiency. This lean management philosophy focuses on maximizing value while minimizing the waste. I will explain what is the waste. The general waste that we are talking about, that paper waste, polythene waste, that is not that here. Something different. And this particular management philosophy, lean management philosophy, as a philosophy, it is derived, originated from the TPS, Toyota Product System from Japanese, somewhere 1950. And so main idea is considering the value and with the fewer resources. So if you can remember the input-output ratio or the equation, less resources will give higher number of productivity, and we want to focus output again higher values where the customer is expected to pay. So I take that word later. So now I am taking you to from the productivity to lean. So lean word you can understand with this picture that is quite thin. But what is thin? How to address? So if we take fat of a person, and if we are less fat, so again we can have thin. That means when a business is growing or construction site or some activities are there, when we are engaging with that, so without knowing by default, some fat is accumulated, some waste is accumulated. So that is the fat we want to reduce, then we can be lean. That's the idea behind this. So even if we consider body management, it also can be done in that. That means lean way and traditional way. Lean way, you will have compound exercises under the guidance and different training other than the conventional. So you will be smart on that, and that you have to be hard on the skinny fat. So if you consider all other management aspects, if you consider manufacturing management, it can also have a traditional way and lean. So lean manufacturing, when we come with the lean. If you consider the educational, yes, conventional education, but lean education also available. The globally, it is practice. Bank, yes, lean bank, lean finance, lean HR, lean construction. So that is how it is connected. But the word here, the finance management, we are managing finance. HR management, we are managing HR. But when we come to the lean management, we do not manage lean. The way we are practicing or behaving is called lean. That is lean. But the insight, we'll see how it is coming. So we are now trying to emphasize and moving from traditional to lean. The world is there. That is the trend. We want to think as a country how we can have a shift. So with the definition, one of the definitions, we can see that fat-free. The idea behind this lean word is that idea fat-free or just enough. So that word I explained. So now you understand within the business, within the activity, fat is there. That is there. So again, Lean Enterprise Institute, they have defined the core idea, maximizing core value while minimizing the pay. Already we have noticed more values. So other than that, other content is the one we want to improve. So that is the value creation with the fewer resources. So this is the diagram we want to keep in mind. If we consider any activity, any business, any construction project, any kind of thing, value addition is happening very few amount. Green patch. Other things not adding a value. So just keep the picture in mind until we define value and waste part. But to understand our focus, that total value that we are taking is less. Our target is to maximize this green patch while reducing the red. And blue color is there where they are still necessary to have. That is, for the moment, just keep it. sometimes maybe audit kind of thing. We have to have it, but we can touch after reducing rate part. We don't need to panic to stop the audit and define the audit is a waste and it's too much. But we will address other areas. What are the other areas? We'll understand in a way within better part of this. So if you consider current state of your business or your project management, your site, so we have certain amount of waste and certain amount of values that we are dealing with. And if you are defining that we are going to reduce it by some percentage, so you can future state, you can define your future state, and you can bridge it. How you can bridge it? You have to identify such waste and have an application or a methodology to eliminate those things or reduce it. Then we can reach future state where the value is higher, that means output is higher, inputs are less, then the productivity will be coming up. So as philosophy, if we have a certain one definition for the moment, Lean is a philosophy of practice of identifying, eliminating waste, and thus adding value through continuous improvement. The word I have underlined here, that is important. So continuous improvements means that is a practice, that is a culture that we want to embed with the organization, people, and the projects. Today starting something happening 2 months, again going down. Now we want to keep it up and move forward with the continuous improvement approach. That is the word CI. CI, continuous improvement. So if we move with this lean word, so we can see several organizations who are practicing this, who have taken the results, not today, not yesterday, throughout history, more than 100 years of history available in this topic. When it is coming to that, McKinsey & Company, other consulting organizations, they have emphasized that this particular lean concept can be applied across the world at any field, as I mentioned about lean banking and that. So it's everywhere. And construction also included. That is the point that we are talking here. So for understanding that the construction, it is easy with the other businesses. So if you search about Fortune 500 global companies, that is highest revenue companies, 500 companies are listed in India. So 2009, they have recorded that 500 billion saving have been done through Lean and Six Sigma approach. So some kind of improvements can be done through Lean. One example. So if we take such global 500 companies throughout a couple of years, so Walmart is leading that's way, but others are going here and up and down. But these organizations are practicing Lean. That is, I want to highlight. Between 2020 to these organizations, majority are engineering organizations. Core business is engineering, other than Walmart, Sinopec, petroleum, basically engineering, energy, petroleum, energy, automobile, everything engineering. Core. So, I mean, construction also engineering, then it is applicable. So, Walmart doing something with Lean. If we do some literature finding, definitely we can find more than this. I have just taken for your understanding. There are literature that we can prove that Walmart is not having a large board in front of their business and allowing Lean. No, that is something in their blood, but they are practicing. But how we can see with the results and their behaviors. State Grid, China. So when we go to their annual report, 2016, we can find that latter part we can see Lean management that enhance their productivity through the Lean management that 2016 report emphasized. For your understanding, I went through these organizations, found several annual reports and tried to find out the word Lean, and this is how I validated that these people are, these organizations are today. So Amazon, not other than such 500 global hotel companies, any other organization, if you take in other sectors, yes, still they are following this. Even police department, not in Sri Lanka, but other countries. Dubai police or London police. So there are different articles that published by different organizations emphasizing that they are practicing legal. US Army, they are also it. So they have mentioned that they have targeted their achievement and they have achieved equity. And one example that is more important as we are from construction sector, and the topic is related to construction. So CRCC, do you know the company? Any guess? China Railway Construction Company. So this is one of company related to Sri Lanka also. So foreign direct funds and from China. So this is the company mainly they are doing the project construction. Recently, 1 year ago, National Hospital that new OPD sector building done by. So this company 2010 report emphasized through the substantial restructuring and technological innovation, the group facilitated lean management in all divisions. 2010, 15 years ago. So when we started in that way, now we are there. How they have performed by 2018, 19, and they have come several higher level. Thanks to as per their reports. So when we come to Sri Lankan context, I do not tell that these organizations are following exactly, but we can see some differentiated results. Yes, when you go there, they are with that, they are following several practices. Some organizations, they are telling that we are doing business process re-engineering. Compared. So that is the way they have been used other than the lead. But the practice and the approach is same, which we are emphasizing. So quick things about some organization, even we are also get and with some consultation and improvements. This for your understanding. We are talking things that we have always delivered improvements to different organizations. And is one of construction organization. So we are with them to improve their productivity, achieving the on-time delivery, project on-time delivery. That is one we are with them. So when we come to our exact topic, the productivity lean, if we merge these together, the lean in construction context, we can understand the construction differs from manufacturing, it's obvious, but it's project based and also sometimes temporary period, but recommended teams are. So this project team can lead the other project one. So the team spirit and the knowledge and the culture can take from here to there. So even the project is finished, the practices and the methodologies can be practiced. The lean adapts by focusing on workflow reliability and coordination between stakeholders. More important. Stakeholders, including you, other organizations, clients, developers, contractors, employees, everyone. So we here emphasize reducing the variabilities and improving predictability. So how about tomorrow? How about 1 month later of the project? So how we can predict this according to the plan and so lean construction aims to improve project delivery performance. That is the target that we emphasize here. So in snapshot, the lean construction is a production management based approach to project delivery. We can minimize waste and maximize the values that we are talking, and we can optimize the workflow and processes, and we can collaborate with the planning and execution works. We want to keep in mind that continuous improvement mindset should be there always, and focus on the customer value is the prime aim, where customers are expecting on-time deliveries, quality. So these things are always supportive and deliverable with this strength. So if we summarize from lean management, lean manufacturing, and how it comes to the construction. So as I mentioned at the beginning, the development system, PPS, the manufacturing culture, develop that particular behaviors and the practices, theories, principles, which give the product. And this was taken by different organizations, different sectors, such as construction. So what it is, late 1990s. This particular DPS about 1950s. So gradually, even 1990 today, it's about 20 plus years. So time is gone, but as a country, we have to adapt this and take this because global adaptation always happen and we can move with that. Fine. So I am now take the word, I emphasize the value word. The value word. So the value added tax, so kind of thing, that value is not the value. Or value added services by dialogue computer, that is not the value I am talking. Here the value that the customers expect. So any activity is value adding only if you transform the product. Transforming means basically the shape or form can be changed, should be changed. So we take this form. So this form is made out of several materials, several parts. So initially it may be the base somewhere, and electronic components will be installed in that. Then maybe the cover and maybe the house like that. So it is coming through a line. So at the beginning it has several minimum or lower level values included, but when it is finished, all the values included. So the values change the shape. Initially, the form that material may be metal, maybe a sheet. Now it is like a tank or kind of thing. Shape is changed. Shape is changed. So when we come in the construction matter, so brick is available. The walls are here. Shape is changed from brick to wall. So that is the transformation happened. So that was paid by the customer. So that is what client is willing to pay for that. So if you want to have a 225 millimeter width wall, that is the BOQ they have given and they are paying for that, not 150. So we have to focus that and deliver that. So value is that. Value is that. Example, brick wall making, structural concreting, or structural drawing creation, or drawing drafting, or designing. So at the beginning, paper is empty or drawing board is empty. But when the drawing is finished, the drawing is available on the board. So shape, form, function added to the board. So that is the one we did. That is the value we brought to the board. So important part is not all the work done at site or construction or company create values. That means some waste are there. Some waste are there. So if you take this transformation with the brick wall, so this brick wall will be paid by measuring the length and width, and for the area they will pay. But if you consider in this context, we will find several ways when we do that brick wall. What is that? Any activity consuming resources without adding value. Without adding value. So this is the brick I am going to make this wall. So I am taking this brick to this. Still the brick is same in the same form and function. Still I am moving it to that. First layer is done. Now value is added, but when I take this from here, it is not there. Did some. So this is the transportation I did. This transportation do not add value. That is the pure waste in red color, and some necessary but not adding value are there. I mentioned that blue color one. Just park it for the moment. As I mentioned, audit kind of thing. So some audit kind of thing can be done on this wall. That part is for the moment this part. But if you consider rework, repainting, demolition and making, everything are included waste. Where the customer is not paying for that. Shape or form or function is not changed with that. So then, majority of the site activities fall into non-value adding activity. We consider it. So wall is making, concrete is making, but before that, everything is not value adding. We understand the part I mentioned. So those non-value activities we can segregate into 8. So this is not my segregation, this is the global segregation, that is 8 ways. Globally we understand there are 8 ways. Any process, any construction project, any manufacturing process, anywhere. So initially 5 years ago there was 7. So this learning is moving and growing. 8th one is the skill part that is added recently, that is non-utilized talents and skills. Here we have more than 100 years experience in oriented this tool. So different skills. If you are not utilizing them, that is a waste. That is the 8th one. But before that, transportation, inventory, motion. So when it is coming to me, transportation is not a waste. The value that they are delivering, that they have defined, that transportation that they are providing to the customer is the value. So then, but they traveled 1 kilometer, but they have to bear some other kilometers, that is beyond the definition, beyond the level that we have defined for the transport. So if we are defining that our material should come from 30 kilometer perimeter diameter circle, beyond that, our cost is going up because BOQ is made based on that diameter radius, for example. So transportation like that. So you take this is you can remember this word thin goods, then transportation, I for inventory, M for motion, likewise. Waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defects. Defects are basically quality. In our construction, quality management part is coming there. So you understand, I take those defects in the construction side. For example, defects, the rework and corrections. Definitely are doing. If we calculate the cost of quality, where we are, have you claimed it? Have the client have paid, or the BOQ or the QS have charged it from the client? No, probably no. But we are doing it. If you consider overproduction, that is producing more than needed. If it is a garment factory, 1,000 products, 1,000 t-shirts order is there, 1,004 is produced. That 4 is not taken by the customer. That 4 should whereby as so somewhere the cost is already done, but not paid. Shape change, then form change, but someone can take that is valuated, but customer is not paid. The 2 things to be satisfied with it is the valuated. One is the shape or form or function to be changed. Other side the customer should be paid. When the overproduction is happened, shape or form or function is changed. Yes, t-shirts are available, but it is not paid by the customer. Then it is a waste. Then we have to put in a bag or somewhere and extra space for the stores, security, lighting, everything is added. Overproduction. When it comes to construction, if you consider something, excavating for foundation. So excavation, according to the drawing, we have, let's say, 4 feet width. But for workmanship, we will have 5 or 6 feet. So what happens? Excess. That is the overproduction. Not paid by the customer. He will pay for the 4 feet and the volume. So then we will reduce that amount as much as possible. That is the area that we have not touched it. How we can reduce? We have to rethink, re-alert, and waiting idle time for any kind of waiting for drawing, waiting for information for making the drawing, waiting for approval, waiting for material to be calculated. Downtime. So mason is available, cement is available, towel is available, but brick is not available. Then that is waiting. If we count in terms of productivity, that is a waste. That's a waste because at that time the shape or form of function is not changed. Bricks are available as it is, as bricks. That's the problem. We haven't seen in that time. If we try to think and then try to see it, we will see a lot of waste within the industry. That is what you have to firstly caliber our eyes to see it. Firstly see. Then we'll think how to handle it. So today our target is to make the eye caliber and people can see it. Non-utilized talents and using skills. Laborers are using, that is, mason is used for helping. Oh, helper is used for mason because mason is not available. Then gold is coming like a snake. Again, shape or form of function change, but customer will not pay for that waved walls because of the non-utilized talent. Properly not used. Motion. Unnecessary work movements. Motions. So take same brick example. So I am bending to take the brick. Bending to take the brick. Brick should be like this. I should lay it. Yeah? I am bending. It is not transport. If it is transport, I want to work it. 1 or 2 or work. But bending or taking something here. So that is motion. So take this one is higher energy. Take this one is less energy. So if we go with the garment factory or my previous experience in Minnesota is we touch that, get and put under the needle of the garment 2 panels. If you take from here, much time. If you take from here, less time. Seconds are matters to get the product. So seconds are matter to bend and take the bricks. The mason's time is valuable. Then the workman, the helper should reach and keep the brick at our precise closer level, proximity. So that's unutilized talent. The laborers are not utilized for that. Labor is putting somewhere and this is something. Mason should bend and take. Bend and take 1,000 bricks, 1,000 bricks. If you count time, brick wall making, if it is X amount of that, we have made the wall 10% of time of the mason. Other are waste of time of the mason. If we consider the time and the payment for the making the mason, so 10% of paid work we have done. Other things are waste. This is what I am telling. In normal context, traditional context, this is not correct. We will consider these things in that manner. Transportation, I mentioned, unnecessary movement of materials. Maybe even the site is not properly managed, properly layout. In Sinhala, there is a song called Dunna Dunugamuye, Itaragamuye, Rala Migamuye, Noik Handway, Sabaragamuye, like that. Everything is everywhere, but required things are not being required. So we can use several tools for that. So this is one example. The things I explained, everything here, brick wall making. 8 ways are embedded with this slide. For example, waiting. Worker waiting for materials. So we consider today we will make a 100 square meter wall. So that is our target. So we did it. Okay, good. We got it. But we do not know whether we can do 120 or 130 or like that because we have not calculated other things. But still, we cannot tell that you can do like that because we have no data. So then what you have to do? While we are working, you have to start to gather some data, hidden data in this question. So then we can have our own numbers. For example, there are numbers for garment manufacturing that is called garment sewing data, GSD. If you take a panel, get, there's a time, standard time across the world. Put, there's a time across the world. Bend, So 1 inch, yes, numbers are there. License, DSP license, work study officers are available in such organization. But in construction sector, do we know such numbers? Do we know such work study in the department? So this is all of us to be thinking, want to start something. I am not telling I am doing here these things. I'm also, if I go to a site, I also have to do in the current conventional way. But what we are seeing and trying to improve is something different. That is what we want to have as a team, as a community, as a construction sector experts. So things I explained so far. This slide takes anything. For example, transport excess material movement, motion unnecessary work movement, waiting for material, equipments, 4Ms, man, machine, method, material. These poems are the poems that is available at any site or any project. Man, machine, method, material. Man is not there, labor is not there properly, material is not there properly on time, and machines is not there on time or properly working, and always downtime, repairable, and like that. And man, machine, method, material. Method, that workmanship or the methodology order that we are doing sometimes it is let's say we are going to have a deep excavation, then we will have a soil. So we have to have the Indian methodology. The methodology is delayed. So we know without knowing, it is delayed to site. So that is a delay, that's a waiting, that is counting the clock, around the clock. So we don't think about these things. On time delivery, just in time, at right quantity. The things should be there at right quality, in right time. So these are available in the books, and lean layout will support to the things that I explained. So if you take a land, first person who is going to there is the person putting the things and starting the site. Are we scientifically thinking of planning layout? Do we think with the 6-month project or 1-year project that this can be accumulated, different material, different layout, different column structures, foundations? So with that, if we think we can have an optimized layout for a certain period, let's say 3 months. For that 3 months, this is the layout. So then we can display it. Everyone knows that this is the layout should be. Then it will be transferred to the next one. Next 3 months will be another layout because it is supporting to that particular activity that will be in that site. But if we consider same layout, then the existing or the coming work will be disturbed. So then we can have support from the AIO and we give our activity plan and project scope and things. Even they can give some layouts. We can argue with them and we can have some good layout our own way. Then we can have it at the site. We can use the technology. Because we are taking much time to draw and this, but we take 2 weeks, it will be done. But we don't have to rely on that. We can argue with them. We can have some more improvement on the site. And if you consider further it's the things that explain same slide, I will share this slide for your understanding. Even if you consider office work, so if you are attaching 1 MB attachment, so we are sending 4 people. 4 in server will take that amount. We are copying for 10 people, which is even not required, who are not required. So those are also transportation cost. Server is taking much capacity for that, we are paying for that. So if we reduce the number of attachment and things and like that, okay. See. So you can see the left hand side, cluttered, organized manner, but it can be a line and something like that. So initially the car manufacturing was done in the corner and corner. That car was manufactured at the beginning of 19 that is first car with the Benz 1907. So before that era. But the production line concept brought by Henry Ford in USA. That is the production line concept, this kind of line. The product is moving, the people are there to fix some things. But our building cannot be moved and we can fix, but we can do something different. We can think something differently, we can have different results. I mentioned that difference between the transport and motion. So it's there. So if you consider the lean design way at your car, 10 years back, how is the car? You have to take your left hand sometimes or the right hand driving, you have to take the left hand for adjusting your AC. For example. Now, at the vehicle pit, while you are driving, we can adjust it. The motion is minimized. Motion is minimized. In that context, you will understand, yes, that is motion reduced. So if you consider ATM machine, so at very beginning, the ATM machine that we have to have a big screen and several things, but it is now very narrow down and very small area. We have the button and to have higher speed. We want to reduce the motion. This is how things are moving. The knowledge is shared with the correct. So event is with the construction sector. So we want to think project wise, time wise, minimum, maximum, reorder level, safety stock. So these are available for if we go with the conventional warehouse. Yes, we have. What is the reorder level? If we are taking a ERP, enterprise resource planning, so we have to define the reorder level. If you go to Keys, if you go to Cargills, so there are now people to count and bring the orders. So PO is sent in automatically to the manufacturers. For Melbourne, particular order is going automatically. When the scanning is happened at the front desk with the cashier, so the P is going down. When the cutoff level is coming, then signal is going and PO is there. This is how the things are managed to get the right time, material at the right amount, the right quantity, the right store. So when it is coming to our side, are we managing at least the inventory? How many cube of sand? How many bag of cement? Sometimes some poor sites are there. That's also not available. But when it is coming to the lean, you have to have the numbers. So then we want to reduce that. We have 10 sites with minimum 50 bags of cement. If we count now 3,000 into 50 and now 10 sites, what is amount? What is the cost that we have paid? If we reduce 10%, that means 5 bags reduce. Now 45, we have defined the size to have 5, 10% reduction. Now we can see 10% cost. That can be in the bank, we have the interest. But when it is at the site, what happens? Some will be getting quality away. Some may be taken by some others outside without knowing. So no control. But if we have the control with the numbers, and it will support to productivity, it will support to the bottom line. So this is how we can revisit our arrangements. Waiting, I mentioned, we are waiting for different things in the life until the correct time is coming. That is not this fear, but other than there, we have to turn the lack of adequate maintenance. We are waiting for something. Backhoe or the JCB has come, but it is not perfect, not maintained. So sometimes construction project is not our matter. There are people to build it. But as a team, we want to think and take some initiatives when the JCB is in our side, how we are managing, who the operate, have particularly battery checked, what is the checklist, have updated. At any given time, it is workable or not. So how are we ready with? That is called equipment management or total productivity maintenance, TPA. The word is there at the latter part of the session. So lengthy setup time, sometimes cost training, And SOP is not available, standard procedure is not available, how to do it. So, like that, different weightings are there. So, we understood certain things so far. Productivity as output in the waste. In the lean word that we have some fat called waste, and waste is coming beyond the opposite side of the value. The value is the one that you want to improve, and waste are categorized into 8. That is purely waste. So 8 waste can be found within the site, construction projects. When you are doing design, structural design, yes, these waste are there. So we calculate certain things, we can follow a certain calculation method, and we can have a lengthy method also. It's up to us. But how we are efficient, so we can take results accordingly. Now I am taking you to some further theory or lean side. There are 4 rules and 5 principles. I will emphasize that also within the time availability. Lean systems are governed by 4 fundamental rules. We have to have that before go with any kind of lean forward. That define how work should be designed and improved, and these rules were articulated based on the Toyota Production System. As I mentioned, this particular theories or the principles coming with that. So, what are those? Basically, 4 things: structure every activity. Certain things even currently we are doing or we are doing, but we have to have word every activity. If you take the making a wall, if you take the making a let's say homework, column, everything, we want to structure. Clearly connect each customer and supplier. Yeah, we are missing the link. We are working with the supply chain, it was the line from manufacturer to a different usage. So customer supplier relationship should be understood and should be giving the respect due respect and work accordingly. So at any given time, I will be a customer for a moment, and also I will be a customer for another. But if I think now I am always customer, no, it will not be. If I am a customer, I want to have certain practices and certain behaviors. If I am the supplier, again I have some different things. If I understand, then I will play, then definitely the other side weight will be reduced. Certain things will be improved. And specify and simplify every flow. Every flow. So different flows can be there, material flow, information flow. So you want to specify and simplify where the material flow is happening for this site, how is the cement flow is happening, how the sand flow is happening, like that, how is the cash flow is happening, how is the human power, human resources will be aligned from HR to site, what is that flow, what is the marketing flow, every flow that functions, you have to map and understand how it is flowing. And more important part is that is lacking knowledge most of the time, like carbon capture, that we start from the large part without testing or having experimentation. We want to do through experimentation at the lowest level possible, where the damage can be very much minimum when we are doing the mat. From the mat, we cannot go down. So we want to do several experiments and implement. Other than just implementation is not accepted, Lean is not telling that. Lean is starting with that 4 rules and 4th rule. So that's we want to understand. Another slide explain 5 principles. 5 principles. Before that, I will take this slide. Supply chain, I mentioned that. Customer supply. So there are external customer, external suppliers. But when we close and when we do macro level, micro level, then we have 5 closer that means internal customer supply also. So we will connect with the filter and we will have some application on that. And this is the slide to explain 5 principles. 4 rules I explained. 5 principles basically with the value that I mentioned. The values that we want to deliver is the point that we can start this circle. From anywhere we can start, but if we can specify the value that customer is expecting or the developer is expecting from this building or from this wall or from this beam or from this slab or, so that is the value expected. This much thickness, this much length and width, this much reinforcement, like that. Specification is given that specified value is available. Then we want to map the flow, map the value stream. Value stream is that the value we know. Stream we know that stream is the allow number that is flowing. So value is begin to that from lowest level to upper level. So that is the value stream. It is we consider raw material at the site. So it's raw material coming and making a wall and paint is coming and painting the wall like that. It's a flowing. So value stream is there. We consider warehouse that is fabric. So fabric is coming to cutting table, cutting and it's coming to sewing table machine and sewing and finished good. Like that is the value stream that is occur. So we have to map it one by one. Understand how it is occur. And next one is the improve the flow. That is, it is a stream. There is a flow, but it is different struggle, stone and things, different barriers. We want to improve that, removing that barriers, such waste that we reduce. We want to reduce it. Then the flow is there. Now flow is moving, and further we can have some adapting like pull system. The flow is happening from top to bottom, from upstream to downstream, but from downstream we can have some mechanism to pull it. Please send like that. That's demanding. So with that, flow is further stream. So this particular first step to be practiced again and again until we achieve the level that pursue perfect level. So currently, if we are telling that if we have numbers, what is our concrete slab laying rate? Let's say we take 10 by 10 meter slab, certain thickness, let's say 5 inch. So we measure the resources, time and thing for this one. So if we proportionately have other numbers, so we can have our rate of concrete in this particular slab. This is the number. So this is the value that we have currently. So project by project or within the project also we can improve that particular rate. If we are improving that rate, we are improving our production. So this is cycle we want to go little by little in detail. Certain depth, time is limited, but we can have further discussions later. Okay, so I mentioned pull and push something here. Traditionally, we are pushing. It's already there. Added term from the lead is the pull part. That is collaborative scheduling for the construction point of view, sometimes based on the capacity and readiness. Pulling can be done accordingly, and all stakeholders can be involved in that. And flexible and adaptive approach can be done. So this is the area coming, that is vacation period. So construction sites are naturally going down. Why? But if we have stakeholders involved as much as possible, so this shutdown or the period that we can minimize. Stakeholders, that working team, a mason, helpers are included. How much we are connected with them, how much we have touched their heart and can talk them and bring after the New Year vacation to site. Skills and unutilized talents. We have to how the HR in construction sector is capable to bring those people. Where is the KP? How to measure? So this, if you take all these things, this slide is represented. Okay, we will have a quick video. This summarizing the thing that I explained. Okay.
You have probably heard of the lean management concept and its growing popularity in the business world. But don't worry if you didn't. In this video, you will get with the lean methodology. Actually, there is no surprise that lean management is now widespread across industries. Thanks to its core values and positive impact on companies' overall performance, the lean concept appears to be a universal management tool. You can apply the concept of lean in any business or production process, from manufacturing to marketing and software development. The lean methodology relies on three very simple ideas. Number 1, deliver value from your customer's perspective. Number 2, eliminate waste, or things that don't bring value to the end product. And number 3, is improvement. So now when you know the core idea, dig deeper and get to know of lean management and content and how did it start. Before you start with the basic lean principles, you need to realize that the lean methodology is about continuously improving work processes, purposes, and people. Instead of trying to hold total control of work processes and keep the spotlight, lean management encourages shared responsibility and shared leadership. This is why the two main pillars of the lean methodology are respect for people and continuous improvements. After all, a good idea or initiative can be born at any level of the hierarchy, and lean trusts the people who are doing the job to say how it should be done. Currently, lean management is a concept that is widely adopted across various industries. However, it has actually derived from the Toyota production system, established around 70 years ago. The birth of lean. Back in the late 1940s, when Toyota put the foundations of lean manufacturing, they aimed to reduce processes that don't bring value to the end product. So, they succeeded to achieve significant improvements in productivity, efficiency, cycle time, and cost efficiency. Thanks to this notable impact, the lean thinking has spread across many industries and evolved to 5 basic principles of lean management as described by the Lean Management Institute. Indeed, the term lean was made up by John CSEC, currently CEO of Google's self-driving car project Waymo, in his 1988 article Triumph of the Lean Production System. Lean Software Development. In 2003, Mary and Tom Poppendieck published their book Lean Software Development, an Agile Toolkit. The book describes how you can apply the initial principles of the lean methodology to software development. At the end of the day, lean software development comes down to 7 principles. In the beginning, it didn't gain popularity, but a few years later it became one of the most popular software development methods. So, what is lean in business? Eric Ries, an engineer and serial entrepreneur, developed a methodology based on the lean principles to help startups succeed. In 2011, he packed his ideas in a book called The Lean Startup. The concept consists of 5 basic principles that aim to help startups be more flexible and responsive to changes. From a business point of view, lean is to shorten product development cycles and rapidly discover if a given business concept is viable. This methodology is also employed by government structures, marketing professionals, and others. As you can see, lean management was not created in a moment. Instead, it is evolving gradually, thanks to many observations and the desire of people for continuous improvement. So, let's get to the basic principles of lean management. There are 5 basic lean principles, which we need to create a lean system. Number 1, identify value. What does every company strive to do? To offer a product, service that a customer is ready to pay for. To do so, a company needs to add value defined by its customers' needs. The value lies in the problem you are trying to solve for the customer. More specifically, in the part of the solution that your customer is actively willing to pay. Any other activity or process that doesn't bring value to the end product is considered waste. So you first need to identify the value that you want to deliver and then proceed to the next step. Number 2, value stream mapping. This is the point where you literally need to map the workflow of your company. It has to include all actions and people involved in the process of delivering the end product to the customer. By doing so, you will be able to identify what parts of the process bring no value. Applying the lean principle of value stream mapping will show you where value is being generated and in what proportion different parts of the process do or do not produce value. When you have your value stream mapped, it will be much easier for you to see which processes are owned by what teams and who is responsible for measuring, evaluating, and improving that process. This big picture will enable you to detect the steps that don't bring value and eliminate them. Number 3. Create continuous workflow. After you mastered your value stream, you need to make sure that the workflow of each team remains smooth. Have in mind that it may take a while. Developing a product, service will often include a cross-functional teamwork. Bottlenecks and eruptions may appear at any time. However, Number 4. Create a pull system. Having a stable workflow is a guarantee that your teams can deliver work tasks much faster with less effort. However, in order to secure a stable workflow, make sure to create a pull system when it comes to the lean methodology. In such a system, the work is pulled only if there is a demand for it. This lets you optimize resources capacity and deliver products, services only if there is an actual need. Let's take a restaurant for example. You go there and order a pizza. The baker pulls your order and starts making your pizza. He doesn't prepare tons of dishes in advance because there isn't actual demand, and these tons of dishes can turn into a waste of resources. Number 5. Continuous improvement. After going through all previous steps, you already built your lean management system. However, don't forget to pay attention to this last step, probably the most important one. Remember, your system is not isolated and static. Problems may occur at any of the previous steps. This is why you need to make sure that employees on every level are involved in continuously improving the process. There are different techniques to encourage continuous improvement. For example, every team may have a daily stand-up meeting to done, and possible obstacles. An easy way to process improvements on a daily basis. So, what are the benefits of lean management? The growing popularity of the lean principles comes from the fact that they actually focus on improving every aspect of a work process and involve all levels of a company's hierarchy. There are a few major advantages that managers can benefit from, which include focus. Reduce waste activities. Therefore, your workforce will be focused on activities that bring value. Improving productivity and efficiency. When employees are focused on delivering value, they will be more productive and efficient, because they won't be distracted by unclear tasks. Smarter process, or pull system. By establishing a pull system, you will be able to deliver work only if there is actual demand. Which leads to the next one. Better use of resources. When your production is based on actual demand, you will be able to use only as many resources as needed. As a result, your company, team, will be much more flexible and able to respond to consumers' requirements much faster. In the end, lean management principles will let you create a stable production system, lean system, with a higher chance of improving overall performance. So, if we summarize what we have learned, lean management is more like a guide for building a stable organization that evolves constantly and helps to identify actual problems and remove them. The main purpose of lean management is creating value to the customer by optimizing resources. Lean management principles aims to create.
The core idea
You have probably heard of the lean management concept and its growing popularity. You have probably heard.
I enable the global knowledge. So it is our decision to go there and get more. So different streets are there. So if we can go again to the Mentimeter to to verify things that I explained so far, I would like you to connect with that. I will connect with. So if you want again, I can give the QR code and connect. Or I stick with the same screen, you can continue. So with the slides we went through, you can have an answer for this. Can you give some example of each waste in construction that you think about current project that we are having? So what kind of examples? Waste. You can type something. Waiting for material, excess inventories, like that. Motion of the vehicles, materials, concrete waste, excess powder concrete, yes, correct. Rework, yes. We have taken the message. Another question, that is excess excavation for the foundation to maintain working space is not the waste or processing or production. So majority is telling that it is not, it's a waste. Firstly, you have identified, yes, correct. And someone tell it's overproduction, someone tell. So if we go with the definition and explanation, so overproduction is where we have achieved something. The processing is a supportive activities or steps we have to achieve something. So if we consider the trench that we want to have, that is the product that we want to have, then there is overproduction. Trench with this extra, then we expect. If we go with the next one, when a structural drawing is to be issued to a site from a design office, then the customer and supplier are. You can choose answers. Supplier design office, customer site. So that is the mindset we want to shift. Site is expecting something, we want to deliver it. Next one, other side. When sometimes some site measurements leading to a structural drawing could be sent to the design office from a site, then the customer and supplier are different. What? Customer is design office and supplier is site. No? So this is how we can think, and we want to shift our thinking pattern. Fine. So I will take quick into the sites, and we have to finish soon. So far we have identified and our eyesight have calibrated to see some waste inside in the construction sector, the design office, in the supplier's yard. So if we have calibrated eyes, we can see the waste. So now we can reduce it. We want to have a mechanism to reduce. So we want to have some tools to reduce. So for that, we have to have an approach how to enhance the value with the defined number of resources rather with the reduction of waste in the running target. So then we have some flex time capacity. If we reduce that such bending and this, our productivity is improving, that our lead time or the construction time will be reduced. So then we can start next project immediately. We can pump our resources to that. So flex capacity will be greater. So to do this one, we want to have some tools. Those are lean tools. So lean rules found, lean principles found. Now by having alignment with these rules and by principles, we can apply tools. Tools come after rules. A set of activities or initiatives will be a tool. Not like a knife kind of thing or so kind of thing, but set of activities that have a goal to identify and eliminating or reducing waste that we have identified. So such tools are available. For example, 5S. We know, we apply, practice. Sometimes we forget. That's there. But culturally, if we are with 5S, traditional 5S, yes, available. But beyond that, lean focus 5S is to get the product. You have to learn it properly. Visual management, visual mapping, task planner system, different names are there, different tools are there. We focus several things. I will take a few minutes and explain a few of here. But there are 100 odds tools such as just in time, it's the Kanban, video, DPA, and then 5S, okay, different tools available. So if I take quickly one tool or two tools, 5S, you know. But if you can tell, there is a matchbox in house. It is required at that time to light up a lamp. It is required sometimes at the point where we are in dark. So it is sometimes not practical to find because it is available, but prominent location is not given. So I start from that. So sorting is something where we want to reduce unwanted speed. We want to think about your printer. Go and see how many printing available, printed but not used. That is sorting that our mindset we have set. We don't need to accumulate or take unwanted things. So keep only necessary items at the site, at the computer desktop, on the table, on the wall, in the car, in the pocket, in the mind. Keep only the required. If something available not required, just keep it. From here you can start. Anywhere you can start, even in your pocket, a wallet, maybe your computer, from anywhere. After that, you will have the exactly required things, then you have to keep them in order in a good manner, like this nice arrangement. Then we want to keep them in shine like this. Clean and regular done. If you go to site, that our machine should be in that way. Poker machine should be like that, like the brand new condition. But is it that? So that's our expectation. If we use something, it will be clean, proper. Standardize the way that we are handling. What is the file method? What is the font? What is the font size? Is vertical or horizontal, like that filing. If we go to our front desk, what is the standardization? If we go to our floors, if we go to site, what is standardization? We can only be sustain is the way we can do audits and maintain. So this is just to show that tool is available to understand to identify the waste. By having 5S, we know the standardized level of material is visualized. So we know the level that it is required or not. It is demarcated for the trolley. It is not there. So then where is the trolley? It is used by one person. Name is handler. So it is visible. So we don't need to go here and there and wait the time. So like that. And when we come with another tool, standardized work, we can explain that. Standardize the work. We can print it, how to use it. Standardize. Trainee can go there and learn and practice. For one side, that is there. And it is standardized and no one cannot manipulate it. So at the beginning, period, you can remember that ATM machine that is displayed at the site. Now it is there. Like that, anything you can standardize. How to use a power machine. What is the standard procedure for it? How to repair a submersible pump. What is the standard procedure? What is the standard worksheet for it? What is the time taken for untying nuts? Take it out. How to untie the wires. Standardized worksheet can be available for each. If then we are following that time, that is standard type. So we can do. So standardized worksheets can be done for our purposes. We can have several. Okay, basically it's called error proof. Error proof. error-proof future, error-proof community, error-proof engineers. Example, that is, you can see that the color one, that is error cannot be happen. No? If similar size, that phase and neutral can change and something can be happen. So now plugs are available according to that. These ports are available in that way. Another way, we cannot fix it. So like that, how we can make sure that our system is proof with errors. No errors will be happen. Is there any method to go give the printing command and get the print without errors? Still no. But we can have something, then we are very happy. No? So we don't need to check it line by line. But we want to have something where we can have error-proof activities. So lockable system sometimes. With the homework, with the pressure, it can go away. So with the pre-con, then we can have butterfly. Those things we can use them. But technology can be useful. So errors can be there. We have proof that it will be happen. So that is our culture. That is our approach. That is our practice. This is what telling. So from that we can identify the ways that can be there and we can use it. So these kind of tools are available. We can use accordingly. So all tools are not suitable for every activity. So certain tools for certain ways identification. Like that. So this is quick one. Quick change. So this formula race. And it is consider of the time here, right hand side. Open. And go. Stop. So dedicated people are given, the dedicated activity, standard is given, he is doing that one. He knows that is coming and is stopping that in front of him. He has the team has the speed. Changeover is happening very quick. Changeover is what is happening? Cycle and turn down tries to be replaced. That is the cycle that we have. We have to consider our case. Sometimes we go global to concrete. We have to wait until get this particular remove the props and combos. Until that we have to wait for the next step. Cycle is identified and how we can reduce the time. The answers are here. This stop is not developed yesterday. You know, now it is milliseconds. So how? What is our case? How we can our work? For example, we change our construction. So maybe this is an example. So this formwork system is certain system which is filling one slab. We have to wait to go to the next slab until get the necessary strength and width. But if we have some certain other arrangement for the formwork and which we can reduce the load and we can take something up and remove it, next flow can be started during the other laid concrete is getting this way. Simultaneous work can be done. So quick change, that is 21 days or 28 days, we don't need to wait. We can change, reduce the time and go to the next. So we want to have that thinking. Then we will find solutions. Tools are available. Modular construction is such a marvelous impact. Modular construction in India is knowledgeable, available. Now in Sri Lanka, people are practicing even. Can be done. It a good example for reduce simultaneous work, improve workflows, reduce waiting, reduce waste, improve quality. So waiting time will be reduced. So there are the concept that we are emphasizing. We are emphasizing the 2D. 2D things. carpentry activities side by side. Multiple projects are handling by a company. Multiple teams are going to carpenters with multiple tools, multiple teams, multiple set of materials. But we can centralize them and have those. We can have a schedule of those, A side, B side, C side. At once we can have a plan for those and make it and sending those to sites. This kind of centralized mechanism can be 2D modular construction. We can reduce the cost. We can have a factory of like Tambro, door making, window frame making. All these timber work is happening within this factory. So we can give a compartment for subcontractor A, another compartment subcontractor B. Can be. So we can have a set of tools for them, set of team for them, and fabrication and installation will be done by others. So we can have a routine vehicle system, transport system. This kind of concept can be applied, cost can be reduced. So this research is in progress with the cost and things, but applicable. The idea behind this one is the lean. This is what we are emphasizing. The modular construction 3D, how we know it. Last time, Prof. explained this topic. So it is available. But scenario behind this, rationale behind this is the lean. Simultaneous work, reduce waiting until the foundation is working. We can have the other things parallel to that. The waiting is reduced, quality is improved, defects are reduced. Similar things are available under Kaizen, which basically change good things. Likewise, I will take quickly, because no time. Continuous improvement is the target with the Kaizen. So this particular organization, top management is there, middle management is there, frontline management is there. So everyone should be involved with the progress of the curve. So top management will take the big chunk of the dumps. But when the top management is brought something and it is not maintained by the next levels, by having continuous improvement at that level, then again top management has to start from the same initial level. So then organization will not move upward. So continuous improvement thinking is there. We want to improve. Problem solving thinking, lean problem solving. Management knowledge, how to address the problem, how to understand the reasons behind the particular problem or the root causes. Cause analysis, deep hole diagram, why analysis, character analysis, different knowledge from methodologies are available. How we can use them for a problem solving. So repetitive problems are there. There are different kind of problems. 4 types of problems are available. That's another topic that we want to discuss. That we'll take that separately, but I want to show that there are things we can discuss. Process mapping. Every process can be mapped. We discuss how you can use that knowledge. The tool is available. You can link it. Every flow can be mapped. Another strategic tool for management. To align the people in a proper way, people putting the correct skill at the correct places, the correct policy, correct strategy. So policy level objectives, strategies will be aligned with that, goals will be equal to that, and certain programs will be there for across the board to run, and working teams are there. One quick page will emphasize a strategic or the corporate picture of the business. So this kind of documents, this kind of practices will emphasize to management to go forward by taking that skilled people with the team. So this kind of thing can be practiced in the organization, construction sector. So as I mentioned, 100 plus tools are available like this. So according to the use requirement, we can take them and go forward. Because the current word, the lean thinking is coming, and leadership also is a kind of changing happening now. So all the thinking was that old dictator style, that is do it in my way. Later it's 1970s, it's that empowerment style and do it your way. Now it is further changed, lean way, that's follow me and we will figure it out. This is today. That's what we are trying to do, we'll do it together. We'll find a lot of capacities. So for that, again, further skills to be improved, so that is Gemba, ONC skills, and then performance management. So this is coming, the knowledge enhancement with the lean side for a leadership for organization. So that 5 habits aligned with the 5 principles could be there with the leaders, and we can understand that this management and leadership two different things. So we want to have that standardized work. You mentioned that measure results, improve the progress, and cross training. More important, leader shall have the ability to at the workplace, work at the place, ask questions, remove roadblocks, mentors, and study with focus. So with that, people will change, and further knowledge can be taken by having reading books like this sort of way. Like that, different books are available. This for your information. So lean journey, if you are trying to go with this to the industry construction sector, lean construction, so you can have it because the knowledge available, and we can think in that way, not like a pessimist or optimist, but like a think, lean think, but different. Why this is empty, why this is available, or that is why this glass is higher than the resource available. You think differently, then we will be changed. And I will skip this one. And keep the message is not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent, but the one most responsive change. So wheels are available. You have time. You can change it and go. Unless you can do it the conventional manner also. Thank you very much for the time and patience and resources provided and invitation. So any question, we can verify before any.
Thank you, Bob. So I was other, I know what we can. We getting setting by see and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bangla, very much explanation. The management point of view is really, if I say, what is management is getting things through other people. As you explained, in traditional way, the lead management, traditional management, lead management. I'd like to propose summary. If you are doing a traditional management in smart way, that is called lead management. In my opinion. In summary, what is your?
Up to certain level, yes, I should agree. Because the smart part is the written one that you have approach. So we are the thinking and looking at the problem in a different way and calibrating the eyes to see the waste. So that is smart word, I like it. And with that, your definition and explanation is good. So others also can make such comment of the idea. I am very much appreciative. Thank you very much for the time.
Consequence can be transformed projects without first transforming people. Can be transformed projects without first transforming.
The quick answer is no, we want to transform people first. Then people will do the task, then task will be transformed to that manner. The good question from the audience that definitely we want to address the people firstly, then the process. So then thank you very much again, and we'll meet somewhere, we'll correct in a productive manner.
Thank you, Dr. Purkida, for that very descriptive and elaborated presentation on how we can use lean perspectives in increasing productivity through construction works. And since we are done with the Q&A session also, I would like to mention to all the online participants that we will have the link open for 5 more minutes only, since we have been opening, we have opened it for about more than 30 minutes, so we'll be closing it soon. If you haven't still marked your attendance, please go ahead now and mark your attendance because we'll be closing it in 5 minutes. And with that, thank you again, Dr. Purkida, for giving such an insightful presentation today. And thank you, everyone. Thank you all the online participants and the physical participants for today's webinar. And we will see you next month with another webinar on another interesting topic. Have a nice day.